Okay, let's give this one more shot, man, because boy, I don't know if I can take any much more of this. My patience is running thin. Is it even live? Is the mic even working? The downside is you can't even hear yourself. That's the part that sucks. You want the audio to come out exactly how you want it to come out. Otherwise, I'm gonna be smashing some shit. Okay, so far it's sounding good. Wish I could get some music in the background. Maybe next time. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. It looks like it's coming through fine. There's no hiccups and shit. Spent a full 30 minutes trying to get this thing working. 30 minutes to go live. 30. That ain't right, man. Technology just been messing you up all kinds of ways. Technology is like, wait, what? You want to go live on my watch? Not today. Not ever. You can do that YouTube streaming thing, but you shall not be going live on my watch. All right, just give me a second, boys and girls. Let me just see if this thing is really, really working. Because earlier on, the audio was so scratchy, and I got a very sensitive mic. If I if I fart, you will hear it. So I don't want the mic to carry and hear everything. I don't even know if it's going to have any feedback on my audio. Yep, there it is. Are we good? We're good. We're good. We're good. Audio is good for now until it decides not to be good. This is just a random live. This is just me testing how this thing is going to work because I wanted to do this in the daytime. I normally stream live on the console, which I'm about to real soon. About to go online and do some streaming on the PlayStation. At least that one doesn't give me any headache. This one just got on my nerves, man. I was sat here for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I don't even know what was wrong. Cables are fine. And there's a lag between my lip movement and audio. That's annoying. I was going to talk about Star Wars movies and life, but I'm not even in the mood anymore. I'm not in the mood anymore. And you might ask yourself, then why are you still here? Why are you still alive if you're not in the mood anymore? I'm just testing how long this thing can last because it took like 5 minutes into the previous live test before it messed up. Pardon me. So, I mean, on this display screen, it's showing fine. It's looking gourmet. Right now, it's looking good. You know, it's not a problem right now. It's not a problem. It's looking good. I don't want to move too much and then the audio goes crazy. It was like a really buggy bzzz sound in the background. It was ear piercing. But I got a list of things I want to talk about in the well, it's Thursday now, technically Friday, my time, UK time. A friend of mine gave me a movie to watch called Strangers, I think. 2 hours and a half. I think it's set in a time period. I can't remember the year it's set in. And there's this thing called squid. I think it's an abbreviation for something where it's a device you put in the head, and it's like almost like having the Matrix machine, but instead of having to lay down and jack yourself in, it's like a portable thing. You can sit anywhere and use it. And I wanted to talk about that as well. So as I'm talking to you, I'm also peeping myself on my phone to see if the audio is coming through nicely. And it is. This is another way for me to check the lighting because the lighting on the display is one thing, my computer screen is another thing. See, both things are in sync, but how I'm coming across on the phone is not normal. It's el pollo loco to me, you see. It's strange. So yeah, lately I've been thinking about life, as per usual, as one does, as one ponders one's own existence, the purpose of existence, the reason of existence, the meaning behind existence. What's the point of existing? What's the point of life? What's the point of energy? Hope my audio isn't looping through, you know. Peeps, I might need to play some music just to. Oh no, I can't even play music, can I? Because this is really interesting, dudes. This is really interesting, my dudes. But yeah, really pondering life a lot lately. And I've been trying to figure out the reason why we don't know so many things about being human. Like I've seen a lot of information recently talking about how to reprogram your subconscious, how to I mean heal your childhood traumas. That's a standard. I think that's an ongoing thing. I don't know if you can actively turn that on. It feels like an elixir you could drink. You know how people have the protein shakes for the gym workouts and stuff. If there was a tea you could just sip every Tuesday that helps healing your childhood traumas, that should be out of stock. Best believe everybody be buying that. The same way people drink their coffee and their what's that famous coffee store? I can't remember this name. Wow, that's odd. So the lady with the she's holding her fin or her tail, the mermaid. Starbucks, that's the one. If they sold heal your childhood trauma teas or coffees at Starbucks, it'll be their fastest selling coffees or teas or beverage or elixir, whatever you want to call it. They probably title it "Heal Your Childhood Trauma Elixir." That will sell out fast. Sell out fast. Yeah, like lately, I was thinking of my or our collective connection with everything, really. For those who are religious or non-religious, well, I guess I'll use myself as a base. My religious background and upbringing was Christianity and Islam. Yay, that was fun. And ever since I detached myself from those two systems because they weren't serving me at all, I realized that I had to recreate a connection with whatever this whole thing is, God, Jehovah, even the name, the words, the term. I get it. I get it. Every culture has a name or has a designated word or designated words for this energy. Understood. No problem. No problem there. But how does one, after leaving religion, ascertain a connection with this force? And how would one know that this being they're in contact with is the being of all beings? And it's not a shapeshifter or a mischievous being or a trickster. This being is the be all and end all. That's the right term? Be all, the whole totality of all creation. And I started to think about how when we want things, we have to pray. Not have to. Some of us choose to pray, mantra, whatever it is, manifestation. Just this whole little like hurdles to jump or little hoops to jump through to get something you want. If you want abundance, you have to pray for abundance, pray for success, pray for prosperity, pray for money. Strange. No one ever prays for air, you know? I don't know who prays for if you don't have water. I imagine people who do pray for water. My bad. Let me not speak insensitively. But and people who do have air and struggle to breathe, I imagine they'll pray to breathe better. But I've never heard anyone pray for air. You might say they pray to have clean air or cleaner air or purified air, but no one prays for air. We have air, no one prays for that. And I wondered where the concept of praying for prosperity came from or abundance came from. Like how did how did that mindset come about? You're talking about a species that knows where to get food to sustain itself from nature. And then how did we get so far off base that people not praying for food that is plentiful from nature? Like isn't abundance, doesn't that mean where you don't have to, you don't suffer for nothing. You don't suffer for food, right? It looks like there's been a great divide or confusion from that really basic yet powerful state of being to just walk up to any tree and pluck any fruit or go to any farm or land or whatever and plant certain things and have it grow. Now, what would the world look like where we all had our own little plot of, not even land? Land is one thing, but just a little section of vegetables and fruits we were growing that is unique or specific for the family. Like my blood type, my son's blood type, daughter's blood type, wife's blood type, family's blood type. And this space we have is just right, just enough for all the necessary fruits and vegetables and herbs to be grown. Do you think we'd pray for food then? Because we already have air. So, like I said, I've never heard anyone pray for air. Like, if you don't have air, then you're not alive, are you? So, who prays for air? Unless you're in a place where the air is so bad, you're praying for clean air. These thoughts have been going through my mind for a very long time. How our relationship, well, again, I'll use myself as an example. My relationship with this divine being has been so skewed and poisoned over the years due to these two major religions, Islam and Christianity. And for other people, it works. But I'm just saying, for people like me who have come away from that, on paper, it sounds like it's a new experience because you get to relearn God, the supreme being, from your perspective and from your interaction with nature, interaction with life, with people, with everything around you. Then you have your dreams, and then you have your desires, You didn't have to make sure your desires aren't um, intrusive desires or projected desires from your parents, from your friends, your siblings, family members, even strangers. Movies you've watched, cartoons you've watched, hence the subconscious, right? And imagine people who don't even know what that is. They don't even know it exists. Like, do you teach about subconscious in school directly, not indirectly, not through pseudo, it's discussed in some way, shape, or form through science. Like, is there a special class every school on the planet has to talk about, pardon me, human psychology, where you get to learn about your own psychology on a basic level, then you get to work on yourself? There isn't, is there? And yet there are all these videos out there that state that you should read a book. Before I even came to this country, I've never heard the word subconscious. If I have, it's through a movie. And it's not something that I would have kept consciously. And now that I'm aware of the word, I started thinking to myself, I wonder what that word or that place in the psyche is called in different languages outside of Europe, outside, yeah, other parts of the world. Like, does China have its own designated word or term to describe that part of the being, the subconscious? Do they have a specific term? Germany, Ghana, Togo, Senegal, do they have it in their curriculum? Do we have it in? Do we all, as a collective, each have our own description of what the subconscious is, or do we have different words in our languages to describe the exact same thing of what the subconscious is? And if so, it's a shame that it wasn't taught in my school growing up or in my house. I think that would have done a lot of good for every child growing up, because now I got to do the same for my son. And how to do that, it's tricky, especially when you're learning about this thing in your older years, surely surely something like the subconscious is something you should teach from early ages, so when we get to our adult years, we're not having to play catch up and having to buy books to then help us understand what is part of us, you know all aspects of our being. Psychology is very important, spirituality, every facet of our being is important. So therefore, why aren't these things, who benefits from not teaching people about subconscious early, from an early age? Who benefits from not having that in their school curriculum from early age? I'm not saying, can you teach? Surely you can teach about subconscious in kindergarten, right? See, even me thinking about that, my mind is already thinking of creative ways to teach that to small children, to little children, to help them understand. Because again, this is psychology of the being. And in what age does the subconscious start to take form? Is there a particular age it starts to wake up, materialize? Is there a particular stage where it's just absorbing information, and then when you get to a particular age, it's awake? You know, these are things I've been pondering for a little while now, because this human life, pardon me, damn, this is the fun part about lives. You can, I mean, I can mute my mic, but I have to be very very fast to do that. Recording a video and editing, you don't get to hear the gulping of saliva and the burping. I just cut that bit out. When it's live, everything goes, man. You get to hear the farts and the burps and the in betweens. But yeah, just a curious live, or like I said, a random chat test live. I'm gonna start doing more of these. Hopefully the audio is fine on this one, because I don't want to talk out of my soul and then go and do the playback and it's all waffled off. I'll be really pissed off. I don't know what was happening earlier on, man. Spent a good 30 minutes testing it out, and it was just buggy audio. Especially when these mics ain't cheap. Especially starting this YouTube thing, it's exposed a lot of things to me about how some people think now. And I started wondering, I wonder how we used to think before compared to now, compared to this new time era and time period. We definitely must have thought differently. We had different ways of thinking in the past. Hence the subconscious thing. Because I've seen like 4 or 5 videos today reprogram your subconscious mind. I'm like, dude, imagine if I didn't know that existed. How people wouldn't even know the subconscious is there. How do they live? They just have this loop thing in their life. And maybe some people are happy with their loop of their life. Maybe they're satisfied with how their life loops. Some people branch out and do creative things, awesome things. Where some people are just like, hey, this is it. This is what it is. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with this. And then even our wants and desires. And then learning about past lives and previous lifetimes, and sometimes you incarnate with your past life desires. Dude, my mind was like, yo, how are we even supposed to just enjoy or just be as we are now without having to think that what I want now is what I couldn't achieve in my past life? And even that, it's almost like a game, right? You're playing a game, you finish the game and you do a new game plus mode. And then you bring in all the mistakes of your previous playthrough and your flops and everything else. But the whole point of a new game plus is you carry over the perks from your previous playthrough. The mistakes stay in your mind, but the perks is you have better armor, better weapons, your character is faster, the build is faster, your strength, your defense, your combos, your magic, all those things are much stronger than you started the game with. So now you're doing a new game plus mode. For people like me, for example, I normally play my new game plus mode on the same setting I finished the game with the first time, just so to have the satisfaction of going through the whole game again and beating every character that pissed me off in my first playthrough. It's just it's a thing I do. Any game that has a new game plus mode, from Devil May Cry, Spider-Man to God of War, and I imagine Ninja Gaiden Sigma had one. Yeah, any game with a new game plus mode, if I play it on hard, or if I start the game on default setting of normal, and I finish the game on normal, and I unlock new game plus mode, normally you get to advance to hard, extra hard, ultimate hard mode, whatever you want to title it as. I normally always going for normal. Before I normally want I would start at easy, just so I get used to the controls and go through the whole story, enjoy the story, enjoy the experience, and then say, okay, you know what, I've done this. Let me play it on hard or normal. Should I say? No. Yeah, play it on hard, and then just get really extra good at the game. Then unlock new game plus mode, and then go ham. But after all the stress I've gone through with different types of games, I thought, mm-mm. No. There's no we don't get any universal awards for stressing through a game. So for my peace of mind in my enjoyment of said game that I'm playing, I've decided to stick to normal mode. And after I'm done with that, especially any annoying experience I have or hard experience, if I have to fight a boss 6 to 7 times or a mini boss 5 times before I win, I practice my combos, choose my favorite weapons and all the patterns and whatnot, learn the pattern of the boss, all those things, right? Then I say to myself, when I unlock the new game plus mode, I'm coming for everyone on that normal mode. Again, I don't care. I because again, it's my experience. I bought the game with my money. I get to have the experience. There's no cosmic way of playing any game unless a game is designed a specific way to be played. There's no cosmic way of saying if you can't play this game, the game won't run on your system. So when I unlock New Game Plus mode, I get to go in there and be like, all right, this boss that pissed me off, well, you better get your ass clocked. Mini boss, all of y'all. I got new weapons now. They're stronger, they're faster. Let's go. I'm murking everybody. Everybody is going to get their ass beats correctly because y'all pissed me off, man. Y'all made me cry. I'm coming back for y'all. Then when I'm done and I double up my character again, I'm like, okay, cool, now we're good with the normal mode. Because it's my experience, I say, you know what? Now I'm ready for the hard mode. New Game Plus mode with the perks. Let's go for the hard mode. But in gaming, you're aware that you're carrying your previous playthrough perks into a New Game Plus mode. You're conscious of that. You're aware of that. You haven't spawned into New Game Plus mode and you yourself have forgotten that you've got these new perks. So like the game wipes your slate clean, but states that you're in New Game Plus mode. It's designed that you carry over your perks. Your health bar is thicker than usual. You can go into the menu section and you can see your stats is your build is stronger than the previous default build. So you're like, yeah, all right. I'm aware you've carried over. You're aware you've carried over your New Game Plus mode, and there's no glitch, there's no bug. But as for some of us, we're not aware we've come into this life again. For some of us, this is part one. This is zero, even not even part one. This is default. For some of us, we're not like, oh, I sense I've been here 5 times or 6 times. Nah. For some of us, this is default. We just got here like, oh, word, okay. I see what it is. All right, cool. Skin feels smooth. I like it. All right, cool. We strong. Okay, cool. So we need water, fresh air. Okay, we'll sigh that in. A deep breath. All right, cool. So we need food, water, and sustenance. Copy that. Housings. Yeah, building structure. Copy that. Then you just chilling. You ain't gotta. You know what? I don't really feel like killing these animals. So you vegan, you vegetarian. Nothing right or wrong. It's how you're build, how you're set, how you're made. Then years go by. You're getting to your teenage years, your older years. Somebody whispers into your ear, "Oh, you know what? Apparently there's a philosophy in this culture or in that culture that you've been here before." Wait, what does that mean? Like sometimes if you get deja vu, for example, oh, you mean when you see something and like you've seen it before but you don't know why or how. What if you dreamt it? No, it's like that's not you dreamt it. We don't want to talk about dreams yet. Like if you see a thing and it feels like you've seen it before and you're like you reliving the thing for like maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds or longer, means you've lived this experience before and this is your second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever. But this whole cycle you're in, you've done this before. You, Imagine just hearing that for the first time, your mind will melt. I don't even know how I took that information in the first time and didn't lose my shit. I don't know how I didn't freak out the first time I heard that. I'm trying to even go back in my psyche and I'm trying to remember exactly when I heard that information. And the funny thing is, I can't give you the exact year or age I came across reincarnation in the past lives. But yet, the first time I ever came across it or heard it, I think maybe it must have been movies. Because movies to me, for me, they feel like universal archives. Some movies, I could just watch a movie and be like, yeah, it makes sense. You say it's fictional, well, that's real for some people. You call it fictional, yeah, sci-fi, okay, cool. But this is what this movie is just depicted is truth. It's a real thing for a lot of people. But you guys call it fiction, all right, cool, sure it is, yeah, of course it's fiction, yeah. you know. Whereas when I first heard about reincarnation, it's either was a movie or multiple movies or cartoons or both with a combination of someone telling me something or telling me about it. I imagine I really can't fully remember, but I do remember the feeling of not like I wasn't shocked. I wasn't like, oh no, you're right. Stop it. You lied to yourself. You mean to say we've been here before? You lied. Nah. I wasn't surprised. It was like, duh. Of course, we've been here before. I don't even know why that was. And it's even now talking about it is interesting because I remember religion, both religions, Islam and Christianity, just felt like a farce to me. Like you just looking at both parties, like you guys are you're liars. I mean, it works for other people. This is my experience. And whatever frequency Islam and Christianity have, the whole wasn't strong enough to keep me in either of them. You could argue maybe it was how my parents taught me both religions or how I experienced them. If buts could make whatever it is, I'm here. And both did not serve me at all. It was just too much noise. You ask a question, you would dismiss. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, you're saying this supreme being supersedes you and grandma and grandpa? Is stronger than all of you? So you guys are, you are parents and grandparents, but this thing knows more than you guys combined? Okay, how come I can't have a one-to-one? No, you don't. You can't talk to God like that. Okay, why? Because, mankind, sin, Adam and Eve. I ain't doing nothing. Well, that's the rules. Okay, cool. That's the rules. Fine. So I got to go through this dude called Jesus. Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So how long do I have to do that for? Like, can I pray on Monday to Jesus and then get an answer on Tuesday? But then again, this is God. So technically, can I pray to Jesus now? And then he's just a middle guy to God. And because God can see everything, he knows I'm praying to him to have a one-to-one connection. And he can see in my heart, especially that I'm a child. I'm young. So there's no you've been a naughty boy, so he can see that I want to make a connection. He's sat there and just watching everyone, and he's seeing the right people go through the proper channels of going through his son before they talk to him. So okay, you go on your knees as you do. You can't stand up praying. Apparently, well, some people stood up praying. Hey, I remember it's like you got to be humble, kneel down, head down, palms together. I'm like, this all these rules. I mean, but hey, this is homeboy's world. He made the world, so I can't complain. But the fact that I'm complaining makes me feel iffy. If I'm his creation and this is his world, surely I should have been made in such a way where I didn't even have questions. I should have just picked up the knowledge straight away. Like, oh, you gotta go through Jesus to pray to God. Oh, word, say done. Cool. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. And then I shouldn't have to feel like I don't know. It seems shady to me. Even when I used to feel like, oh, no, it's a lot of work. I used to think to myself, what if I was a spawn of Satan? Like, what if it's like like a movie thing? The character we've been playing, not playing, the character we've been watching all this time doesn't know he or she is they're going through their arc to become the main villain of the whole series. You know, I'll think to myself, so if I'm feeling this way, surely that's a bad thing. I mean, this is his world. He made earth, he made heaven, and these are the rules. I wasn't there when he made Adam and Eve. And the rules are to get to him, you got to pray to Jesus. And if I limit God and Jesus, that is just my human mistake. But by definition of this immortal, infinite being, there should be no lag, right? That means this being can listen to everyone's prayers simultaneously without any lag, without any delay, without any hiccups, without any hindrances. You can hear God clearly, directly. I mean, not you can hear God. God can hear us clearly and directly. There's no lag. So let's say there's 10 people in the room and they're like, nah, I ain't doing this talk to, go through Jesus to talk to God thing. My bad. Let me do that math properly. I don't know why I said 10. There's 10 people in the room and 5 decide to say, you know what, praying to God through Jesus is BS. And then the other 5 stick to the rules of praying to God through Jesus. And what they ask for, they get right in front of the other 5 people. So it's a great incentive to be like, wait, did you just go through the whole, you talk to Jesus? They'd be like, yeah, we just asked. There's a Hummer outside. You can't see the Hummer. Just 2 seconds. I just pray for like two Hummers, like one green and one yellow. And all you guys did was literally you hit up Jesus. Yeah, so you ain't do that. Nah, we just thought it was bullshit. But word, it's a great incentive, dude. It's a great incentive. I'm serious. That is an awesome incentive. So the other five were like, wait, so you really went through Jesus? They'd be like, yeah, look at the Hummers. Okay, cool. Just for clarity, you can't because you'd be cheating if you ask the other five who went through Jesus to um to pray for specific things that they want. That's cheating. So you'd be like, okay, just ask for one more thing that you want, but don't go through Jesus. And they do the prayer, it doesn't work. All right, now do it again, but go through Jesus. But let it appear right outside so we can see, so we can see it, right? And then they do it and go through Jesus, and then they can see it. They'll be like, okay, you know what? They ain't lying. They're telling the truth. So like, then you're just like, okay, all five of us, let's start again fresh, but go through Jesus. It's a great incentive. Surely they're gonna get their prayers answered. But on repetition, over and over again, you ask questions, to your parents, and without really putting blame and fault on them, it's how they were taught the religion, it's how they received it. You could say it's the capacity of their psychology, mentality, spirituality, whatever words and lists you want to go through. Whoever it stuck with, it stuck with. Wherever it didn't, it didn't. People like me, it didn't stick with us. We already came here just knowing certain things. No ego. Just the same way we all know. Well, I assume most of us came into this world knowing incest is unnatural and incest is not proper. I was never taught that in school. My mother never taught me that. My father never taught me that. We just knew. My brother and I never sat down and said, you know what? Just thinking out of the blues, incest is not good. Yeah, you're right, brother. It's not good. We just knew. We just the same way you're not taught how to breathe unless a baby comes out of the womb and has complications. You just know how to breathe. I'm just saying. But then again, I'm not what do you call this? A qualified scientist or philosopher. I've not written any books, so one could say you're just talking out of your anus. You're talking out of your rectum, Jedi. Oh, stop it, because you have a YouTube channel. You're talking gibberish, Jedi. Pure gibberish, Jedi. Slow it down, Jedi. Slow it down. So yeah, fast forward to my current cycle now. I just thought to myself, dude, there was no incentive to say praying to God through Jesus because I just felt where the feeling came from, I don't know, but I just felt this is this is BS right now. This is so annoying. You guys are not answering my questions. I can imagine a lot of children had so many questions they didn't have answered. Imagine the trajectory those children went through. Some just stuck to it because their parents told them. Some stuck to the whole religions because they had no choice. Some became atheists. They're like, screw it, I'm done. Fuck it. No, this is too much. This is too much because that's how we grow by asking questions. That's how you know how to build something by asking questions. That's how you know how to invent something, construct something by asking questions. Not in a rude, derogatory, insulting way or brash, harsh, disrespectful way, but by asking questions. That's how you grow, you adapt, you evolve, whatever it is, whatever word you want to use, you improve. Your becoming is based on asking questions, not only to others, but yourself. What do you want? What are you? What am I? How did I come into being? That's the beauty of science in its purest form, not what some people say science is or what they feel science is. No, just in its purest form. Just like, yo, there's a lot of things around here, man. And everything is so open. There's no locked doors. Everything is just as is for you to just, you know, get a little droplet of water, and then even the questions you're asking leads one to create a telescope, microscope, and then petri dish, dude, everything else. Imagine all the things we've invented to an extent, in the sense of exploration and understanding everything, even though we're still expanding to understand, had to have come from questions. Most of it, I assume. And then fast forward to you're being taught about subconscious and past lives. For me, past life, the concept of past lives, reincarnation, wasn't like a scary thing. It just made sense. I know I skipped a lot of points earlier on, but let me go back to the new game plus mode. New game plus mode theory I was trying to use was that in gaming, you're aware that you've carried over your items from a previous playthrough. Your perks, basically. Your guns are stronger. Your weapons are stronger. You got more combos than you started the game with. But in real life, even though a lot of people say this life is a simulation, that's another thing that can melt your mind if you're not careful. Oh, this life is a simulation. How if it's a simulation, are you telling people it's a simulation to what? To what avail? It's almost like if you go back to the Jesus thing, the whole God thing. If you want to talk to God, you have to go through Jesus. The incentive is when people do it, on paper there should be no delay because you're taught and told you're talking to the supreme being. And imagine imagine that from a child's perspective. There will be no lag. A child doesn't think the same way some adults do it. You've come limitations tend to pile up as we get older for some of us. Then this view or this expansion we have, this infinite bubble we have, some of us it tends to shrink for us over time. Like the older we get, environment, society, culture, your parents especially, your family members, your friends, your loved ones, relationships, everything eventually for some people this bubble gets so small and it shrinks. Either just shrinks, shrivels, pops, so many things, or you can say it dies. It's like after a while, yep, just follow. They say do this, so we got to do this, and someone is dying inside their spirit and soul, but they have no choice because what they had before isn't there anymore. You can say there's little fragments or aspects of it, but that bubble is so tight, it's compressed. Hmm. So some of us don't know we've carried over perks from our past lives. At least in the game, you know how to use those perks. You've carried over that those perks into your new game plus mode, and you're now saying, "I'm ready to play this game again on hard mode." And I know it'll be challenging, but at least I've got stronger weapons this time. So maybe the ratio of strength when you played the the game on normal with your new perks would be the enemy's level would have been on 5 and your weapon is at 10. And for some people say, "Oh, that's no fun." For people like me, yo, that was fun because you guys pissed me off when I started this game at 0. Now I'm on 10. I'm gonna make you guys feel exactly what you made me feel when I first played this game. So in hard mode, you're like, "Okay, I'm ready." Maybe hard mode, the difference in terms of strength would be because your weapon is at 10. Hard mode enemies might be at 12 or 13. So there's room for a challenge. Like, okay, I know I got a weapon. My weapons are maxed out at 10. These guys are 13, so I got to be vigilant. Now, a 13 level 13 character hits you with your health bar at 10. That's going to take a good chunk. Not too much, but a good chunk. But now you played the game before, you know how to weave and dodge. You might even want to practice your parry moves. You rebound, you block the move and bounce it off against, and then pie. Might want to practice your slow moves, your magic. So many things you want to practice again in hard mode because you've chosen to play hard mode. And there's nothing wrong with playing easy mode again with your new game plus mode and your perks. There's no cosmic law that says it is wrong, it is bad, you will lose an eye or a left testicle or right breast. No law. You get to experience your game how you want to experience your game because you paid for it. But then you're running through hard mode. You're like, yo, I need to move differently. I need to pace myself. But you've played this game before. You know how the enemies will move. There might be some new differences because the game knows you've played it before on easy mode or normal mode, and you've unlocked new game plus mode. So not only do the enemies scale up their strength, it might take a little longer to kill an enemy. Might take a little longer to kill a boss. But you get to learn this again on hard mode, on new game plus mode. So you're aware of what I'm saying. Basically, you're mindful. You're conscious of what's going on. You're conscious of the experience you're partaking in again. There's an excitement there. I don't know what the bad guy's going to do this time, and maybe when you hit him once or hit him a number of times on normal mode, this time the move that the combo you'd have landed on them, they were left open to just eat the combos. This time around, they're like, oh no, this is hard mode. This is hard mode, boy. So we ain't playing. Easy mode or normal mode, we let you just land in like 5 button combos. This one, you lucky getting 2 combos in. This 1-2 pop pop, me blocking you, bam, we giving you a super to your chest. So now you're like, oh hey. Okay, let me go back into the menu section and let me find those combos I really didn't have to put effort into mastering. Then 10 button combos where I got to be like 1-2 tap tap, dodge weave, pop pop, 3-4, and it's like a consecutive combo. And you got to practice the other combos where you're advised like, yo, this combo requires you not to get hit. The more you stay and weave and bob and dodge out of the way from getting hit, and you parry and connect the combos, the stronger your attacks become. So now you're like, oh, I gotta move different. I gotta move I got my perks, but it's letting you know this is a different swerve, man. Normal and easy, they had you playing. It's cool. Nothing wrong with that, but nice and hard mode. You had to clean your clock twice over. So nice, like, okay, you're aware of that one in games. But in this reality, whether it's another simulation or a game, you have to be told, or you'd be lucky to be told by outsiders or others or family members or friends, or you come across it through an archive or library called Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever it is, whatever external source you have partaken in, you'll be lucky to come across it to then even understand it. So imagine being told this is not the first time you've been here before, and you don't even know what that means. For people like me, for us, like I said earlier on, I don't know how I knew, but I was like, yes, that makes sense. I don't know why or how it makes sense, but it makes sense. So what's new? Some of us don't have that access to tapping into our previous playthrough to know what we did and didn't do. Then some people say, oh, you do, right? You got to meditate. See, this is what I'm saying. It's when you stack up these things of what to do, going back to the religion thing, you can't talk directly to God because as per the rules, you have to go through Jesus. And then anyone who's had those experiences growing up as a child, you do not get the answers on day one, not even day one, on second. I prayed for so and so, here it is. As a child, you go through that experience, it takes a while. And that can be very, very discouraging because you were told specifically these are the rules. Then you got to be extra specific how you pray. You got to pray on Sunday. You can't pray on Mondays or Tuesdays. It's rude because Sunday is church day. It becomes so monotonous and such a lie and soul crushing that eventually you're like, whatever. Why is it that all of us, not that the unique people who have it, all of us don't have the straight access to knowing exactly what the previous cycle was like? Like the perks you could pull over from previous cycle. Maybe past lives, one was a scientist. You can bring that perk over now, so you ain't got to go to science school and relearn the shit because you knew it. You mastered that in your previous lifetime. You're like, oh, so hold on, you just go back to my past life, library, archive, scientist. Oh, okay, we putting that in today because no wonder I love science because you're reincarnated and you have these things you like, these interests you're into, the interests you have, right? You're like, no wonder I like science so much, or I love science so much. Oh, I was a scientist in the past life. Or I bring that info here. So then we can just skip on to the next thing without having to redo the thing again. Or maybe the aspects of the subject in science you enjoyed in your past life but couldn't accomplish it. And you've chosen to do game plus mode into this current cycle to follow through. plus with the extra luggage of your past life knowledge, oh, it'll be easy for you just be smooth sailing through. So where you left off, you just carrying on now. Plus, you can help others in the current cycle you were in your past life with the exact journey you went through in your past life when you were mastering that aspect or those aspects of science. So the plus side is you get to remember everything you mastered in your past life today, and you get to help others in the different avenues. So that way, you don't have to go through the same. Let's say you went through a 30-year cycle to master it. You don't have to go through the same 30-year cycle. They could probably do it in 10 or 5 or 3 because you would have found ways to master it in your past life, bring it in today, and then digest it in such a way you could even feed it to children. You could inspire so many people. You could write books. You could do classes. You could create a foundation where you start to teach people in this foundation, or a little a hub, or like an Xavier school, but a science school for science. Everyone is coming in. Everybody, tall, short, whatever pigment, whatever culture, whatever tribe, come and learn. It's not gatekeeping. It's not mine. I mastered from my past life, so that way you guys don't have to go through the exact patterns I went through. Whereas today, what? Somebody tell you got to meditate. Meditate for what? Y'all keep giving me these rules. It's like we have the idea, or the thoughts. The thought is there, or the thoughts are there. Plenty thoughts. What if? How come? Why not? When it comes to the answer, is glitches and hiccups. I'm like, nah, that don't sound right to me. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. How come I can ask all these infinite questions, but the answers take ages to come? Oh, it's just the way it is. Man, shut up. This simulation is buggy. Somebody gave me a beta test code for simulation. I guess I could say it's a good thing because you can't tell me this is my full life. No. If you're beta testing right now and I'm jacked into a machine like the Animus, or like a Matrix machine, and this isn't my full playthrough, then of course. But I don't know that, do I? This is it's the not knowing that's the annoying part. Whereas other things around you that mimic the knowing, aka movies or games or stories, audiobooks and whatnot, they're telling you to your face. Like for example, one of my favorite movies that really touches on how I feel incarnation works on multiple levels, not just the we're here 1,000 years, like even time. How does time work? Like you die now, your journey back to source, does it take 5 years, 5 minutes, 5 seconds, or is it instant? And that's the annoying thing about learning how we've been taught. Certain things we've been taught is through um outside invaders, colonialism. I can never say that word correctly. Colonialism. Got it. That's that. We're leaving it there. We're not going to try that again. So the concept of time is not. I could argue is not mine. I didn't create this concept of time. I was born into the world. I was told this is how it is: sunrise, sunset, past, present, future. Okay, cool. But it's still wavy. But that's how it is. That's how it is. All right, cool. If y'all say so. I mean, I'm fresh off the boat, so to speak. So I defer to y'all, refer to y'all, your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, your scholars, you know, your elders. So if you say what you say is true, all right, cool. Take your word for it. Again, iffy here and there, but I'll take your word for it. So yeah, I almost lost my train of thought. The movie is Live, Die, Repeat. I absolutely love that movie. Beautiful movie with Tom Cruise. I think there's another word for it. Something tomorrow. No, sorry, not another word. There are two titles. I think it's how it was either a title from the book and how the director chose to name it. I don't know the politics behind it, but there are two titles for that movie. I could Google it right now, but I don't want to. I don't know. The setup seems to be working fine. I haven't even heard the audio so far. The audio might be very bad for all I care. But let me just get this information out. And if it's bad, I can always talk about it again because this is what I'm currently going through. So it wouldn't feel like I'm having to rehash things. I'm gravy talking about the same thing that I'm passionate about. Easy. It's a natural state of my being. Yeah, Live Die Repeat. When I first watched it, I was like, this is a dope movie. This right here, this is reincarnation. Just told in a very interesting way. You just go through this because the only difference is Tom's character was aware of the repetition of the cycles of the patterns, the cycle he was going through over and over again till he reached a state of let me finish how to finish this. So he was having Neo's deja vu moment in the Matrix, but on overdrive. Neo saw the cat do his thing once, twice, that's it. Tom's character, Tom's character would have got shot by someone, and he'd wake up and watch the whole thing play through again to the same point where he gets shot, but he'd be like, hold on, this happened to me. Imagine having to have that experience. How long do you think it'll take you to realize you're in a particular loop where only you are aware of that loop and you can alter that loop? How long would it take you to even realize you can alter the loop first? Like how many times do you think your character would need to get shot till you realize this is a loop? For me, honestly, once. Just once. Because having clear memory of the exact conversation you'd have to an extent, like maybe 80% clear memory of, oh, you said this and you said that and you said that. And before you spoke, there's a clock outside, the bell rings 12 p.m. or something. No, 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 no. We're not going to get shot twice. You must be crazy. I don't play too many games for that. Even if I haven't even played games, I'm just aware enough to be like, no, something doesn't smell right. And especially, for example, if someone farted in a room and you could the fart was very bad, and you smell the same smell again, you're like, nah, I got shot once, and that smell, you can't forget a smell like that. So this is a loop. I'm just sitting so now. Just sit down. Let somebody get shot. You must be crazy. Get shot twice for me to realize it's a loop. Some people that got shot 3, 4, 5 times. I mean, you got to get shot 5 times so you realize you're in a loop. No, sirree, Bob. Once is gravy for me. In fact, that's lucky. You're lucky to even catch me off guard like that. One time that's enough. That's enough. And that's like for some people, that's a wet dream. Not to get shot once or twice, maybe it is for some people, but I mean, that movie was like a wet dream for some people. And that movie for others was like a thank God finally someone is making a movie on how I feel, on how I think, on how I see this existence to be, And I thought to myself, yeah, this is a beautiful movie. I'm surprised many cultures aren't talking about this. Where are the cultures that really speak highly on reincarnation? Why aren't they using this movie as an example? So when you talk to people and they hear you talk, it's like, it sounds weird. Then you show them a visual. Whereas for me, or I feel mine has always been a visual. And then if the words don't match the visual, it just sounds like BS to me. And this is how I've even come to realize how I learn. I learn visually. I'm a visual learner. Whereas I went through years of school suffering, man. You come into class and everyone's got their notebooks out and their textbooks out. And people are flipping pages faster than you. That shit used to burn my soul. I used to wonder, why is it that they're moving at a particular pace and I can't move at that pace? And why am I the odd now? Maybe me and one or two people, but how come they're not? Why aren't we on the exact same pace? Why is it the teacher would tell me this thing, he'd announce this thing, or she would say so and so. Everyone say, yep, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And I'd be puzzled. I'm like, we're not even allowed music players or Walkmans or CD players in this room. So what was I listening to? You can say, oh, you were daydreaming. Okay, teacher repeats the same thing again. I'm not daydreaming. I'm paying attention. I'm watching his face or her face. I'm not getting anything. I'm trying to lip read. Nothing. When you show me, oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord. We out here, boy. We out here. But no one ever taught me that growing up. Same way, like I said earlier on, you're not taught about no subconscious or even a word in my mother tongue or my father tongue. This word describes this part of your brain or this part of your psyche. Or what is even psyche? You're aware of mind because it's your internal. No one can hear your mind or your thoughts. You can visualize things. You can see things in your head. So you're aware of it. You're aware of what that is, that construct, without having to be told. And when you think of something, you memorize something, or you're building something, or you're drawing something, you're aware that, oh, this thing I saw here, I can put it onto paper. Then when you're looking at toys, gadgets, phones, microphones, whatever it is at that young age, you can correlate those two things to say, this thing didn't appear here of its own volition. Someone saw it in here and made it a thing. So therefore, this thing, this place is real. It's tangible enough. I can hear myself in here, but no one else can hear myself or hear me talk. I can see myself. Okay, cool. So mind is there, brain, yada, yada, yada. But what the hell is the subconscious? Like, what is that? And why wasn't that taught across the globe? We can talk about that word, colonization. You say slavery. We can talk about that because that plays a big part into it. Whether people choose to accept it or not, it's your free will, man. That is the beauty about free will. You can choose not to accept it. Plays a major role in it because every people, every civilization would have had time, years, and eons, let's say eons, right? Not eon, eons to master what this is in every way, shape, and form. Seasonal cycles, environmental changes, blood types, psychology types. Every people, every tribe, every civilization would have had their time to master that and understand that and go through the trials and error, the highs and lows, failures and successes before they can say, we'll call it this thing. You have to split up you have to fragment the human anatomy in its physical, spiritual, esoteric form and beyond, psychological, sexual, every aspect, just to fathom what it is and then put it back together and go, aha, we figured it out. This is the human form. This is the brain. This is the pineal gland. This is your third eye. And this is your psyche. And this is your mind and your thoughts. And this is your nose and left brain hemisphere, right brain hemisphere. And everything, spinal cord, and everything. You need time to do that. You can't do that whilst you're invading people's lands. You can't. You might say if you're people of 200, okay, 100 people work on it and the other 100 invade. Maybe, what do I know? But your frequencies have to be aligned in such a way that it helps you understand what you are and why you are. I don't see myself as a being that had time to jump on a horse or on a ship or a boat, going from land to land and just pillaging peoples, and then went back on the weekend to the pyramids to master the human anatomy and the third eye and the eye of Horus. No, sir. Maybe y'all did. I can't speak for you guys. I speak for me clearly. I can speak for me clearly. I wish we had a good starter pack growing up. Or again, I speak for myself. I wish I had a good. You know what? I speak for myself and people in the same boat as me. Wish we had a good starter pack in our childhood years, understanding our psychology, our anatomy. So we know what foods to eat and what foods not to eat. So we don't got to wake up when we're 35 and 30s and 20s and whatnot. And people are saying, don't eat this, eat that. Don't brush your teeth with this, brush. It's too much, just too much noise. Too much noise. A clear reflection on the fact that there's lack of clarity. There's lack of clarity, lack of truth, lack of divine truth. Maybe if God had made it much easier for people somebody prayed to God through Jesus and got their prayers answered ASAP, it'd have been a great incentive. But no, homeboy had to make it hard. That's what she said. Homeboy had to make it hard. And now everybody's just running around trying their best. I got people on Instagram and TikTok posting about childhood trauma and healing from childhood trauma is beautiful. No shit. No shit. Breaking generational curses. Dude, I gave y'all a heads up one time. I said I was going to start talking about things some of y'all will not like. And like I said in that video, my intention is not to upset or piss off anyone, but to speak truthfully. And this is that time. Because my head is swelling from all this information. We can just be here on a random. We can't. When you observe nature, there's so many patterns in nature. And you think out of all the infinite patterns in nature, will be random? Or is our randomness a pattern as well? Huh? We have to tackle in reincarnation, past lives, childhood traumas, generational trauma, ancestral trauma. Then you got people telling you this is a simulation, this is an illusion, time isn't real, this whole thing isn't real, this is a matrix. I mean, they're all connected. You can see a thread running through most of them. Yeah, you can. But still, it would be beneficial to get the exact coordinates to handle these different aspects. Telling me this is the matrix don't do nothing for me, because you pitch to me, read this book to break out of the matrix. That's some bullshit. Do you see how off that is? That's like saying this food you're about to eat is poisonous. You cooked it the wrong way, and I'm hungry. So to cook it the right way, instead of getting the same combination of fruits and vegetables that are around you now, you got to trek somewhere, buy a book. I'm hungry now. Buy that book, trek back to your same position or location, sit down, and read this book. If you're not one for reading, trek that same direction, buy an audiobook, trek back to the same position, still hungry, and then play the audiobook to learn how to combine. You could just help you right now, Or it'd be cool if whoever put all these things together, or whatever put all these fruits and vegetables on this planet, would just talk to me directly. The fact that I have to ask permission to talk to the divine, that's just for beings like myself, it's not proper, correct. It's off. It's off alignment. It doesn't seem aligned. You have to do it this way, otherwise this supreme being won't answer you. That doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right. There's just something off about it. Because I didn't make myself. And then someone would be like, oh, but alas, you chose this existence. You chose your parents. You chose to be here. You chose to ask these questions. Bitch, I don't remember. Just like the example I gave earlier on about the New Game Plus mode, I've carried things over that I don't remember. If I could remember my perks from the new game, from my previous gameplay or my previous playthrough, hell yes. All you're doing is like an NPC set to remind me about my previous playthrough. Maybe I'm frustrated saying this boss is hard to beat, man. This mini boss is annoying. And then you're the NPC character that goes, oh, use the Force, Jedi. Oh, yeah, the Force. And I got to sit down and, think to myself, okay, what level was I when I unlocked the Force in my previous playthrough? Boom. Or just go into my freaking save menu and unlock the Force. But there's no menu here. It's just constant noises from different people who each claim that they have the answer. And then the answer turns out to be many answers. But yet, not many are saying it's here. Rather, there's the it'll come to you. But that happens. That happens. It'll come to you happens. But what if, not even what if, all these different voices, there are many people attached to these different voices who struggle to listen to these different voices. There are many people like myself who are like, I don't even want to hear these voices. I'm talking to the source right now. And since the source created everything, it'll clearly understand me in this English language. I ain't got to speak a special language because it still ties back or low key, you know, feels like it's similar to that Christian thing. To get to my Father, you got to go through me. Even though that's the rules, if you go backwards and observe those rules before even observing those rules, that sounds shady, man. That sounds shady because the whole thing is off. We start to talk about religion or talk about Adam and Eve. Many people don't ask the simple question: why on earth would a higher being put a tree in a space and tell these folks not to eat from that tree? I used to ask a very simple question: was that the only tree in the space? Because then that's natural curiosity. Unless if you remove the curiosity from them, but since you're testing them, so you got to let curiosity stand, right? So that means they've never seen a tree before. So therefore, that's why they were like, "Oh, okay, cool. Don't eat from it. All right, but it's nice though. What is this? What do you call it? Tree? Tree? It's nice. It's a cool looking thing. Whatever this thing is. So fruit. So then my question, like, what else did they eat before that? They ate fruits and vegetables, or Adam ate fruits and vegetables before Eve came. So were there trees in the garden, or there were no trees in the garden? So if there were trees in the garden, there was no apple tree in the garden. There were all kinds of fruits except the apple. Apple was the only one fruit that was never in the garden. So here comes Eve. I don't even know when God created the apple tree. Did he create the apple tree before he made Eve from Adam's rib? Or did he do it the night he made Eve from Adam's rib? Because there's no way that tree was there all that time, based on how the story is told. See, details are very important. These are the questions that I've asked my parents. You don't ask questions, it's rude. Rude where? I'd like to know how this thing came about, because you said you can't touch the fruits from this tree. Then I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to put myself in Adam's shoes before Eve. He must have known everything there is to know. And out pops this new tree. He's never seen this thing before. Naturally, he'd be curious. You put him in an environment in a garden where everything is just growing. He gets to understand the cycles, the seasons. Were there even seasons and cycles? They couldn't have been winter. Was there winter? Even if there was winter, he probably wouldn't feel the cold because he ain't eaten from the apple yet. So he was like a perfect being. He got chilly, he didn't feel no cold. Maybe some cool breeze, but he was just like his body temperature was perfect. Snow blizzard, perfect. Never catch a cold. No disease, no sickness, no flu, just perfect. Harmony, heaven, right? So when at what point did the tree come into play? Was the tree there the night before Eve came about? Because these two factors are very important. There were trees before Eve was made, and Adam was eating all the fruits in the Garden of Eden, all the vegetables, or edible, yeah, I almost said edible vegetable, all the vegetables in Garden of Eden. And he would have mastered everything, right? So he wouldn't be bored. I don't know. Would you be bored? Would you be bored in a garden where you knew every plant, every animal? And how long? Because that's a very powerful brain. How long was the experience? Was he there for 1,000 years on his own before Eve came? Was it 500 years? Let a brother know in the comments. Was it 50 years? Was it 10 years? Were they in the 30s? Were they in the 20s? So was it 20 years? 20, 25 years? How old was Adam when he and Eve got kicked out of the garden? in our years. I know they said they lived over to no, we don't even say how long they lived. How old specifically were they when they got kicked out of the garden? Because that would give me a time scale of how long Adam was in the garden alone before Eve came along. And now I need to know the exact time placement and creation of said tree. Like, did God have the intention of making a tree before he decided to make Eve from Adam's rib, realizing Adam was bored or lonely? Not bored, sorry, I shouldn't say bored, he was lonely. He needed a companion. You'd have thought that was a no-brainer. When you make one, you need two, because all the other animals, I assumed there were two, right? They had lion, lioness. So there's always a male and female version of each animal that Adam was chilling with. So you'd have thought that was a no-brainer for a creator to create a male and female counterpart in this human experiment he was doing. But he chose to make a male and no female. Or he could have chosen to make a female and no male. But what do I know? You know, I'm an ex-Christian, ex-Muslim. What do I know? Sacrilegious to speak on such things, cosmic. Sacrilegious. So he continues, and then one day realizes Adam is lonely, makes Eve. So right there, that decision to make Eve from the rib of Adam, is that after the tree was made or before the tree was made? Maybe I should be having these conversations with a devout Christian. I know a few Christian friends of mine on Instagram. I could have these conversations. I could have these questions and answered, just so I can get a time scale and understanding. Because the curiosity thing is the only thing I could be like, it does me. I probably eat the apple before Eve came along. It's a dope ass tree. But then again, I imagine the relationship I would have had if I was Adam with God would have been straightforward. I wouldn't need no, in between guy. There would be no Jesus to pray to or kneel to. I would just holler, Father, yes, son, straight away. It was straight, smooth sailing. There was no bullshit. Pardon me. So I imagine that was like straightforward. I don't need to pray, kneel. After I had a meal, thank you, Father. You're welcome, son. Straightforward, simple. So the lag came in after the apple and other things way down the line, of course. But the lag just came in right after the apple. Shame. No wonder people started blaming Eve for the whole thing. If this bitch ain't come, we'd have been cool, straight chilling. But it ain't even fair though, because she didn't have the amount of time to learn and master everything the same way Adam did. So she wasn't even obedience. Did Adam learn obedience, or was he taught obedience? Did I ask that correctly? Let me see if I can ask it another way. Was he born innately obedient, or did he have to do some dumb shit and get told off by God, maybe punished by God in some way, shape, or form? Like maybe he did something he shouldn't have done, then God made all the food disappear, and then Adam was like hungry for like 3-5 days. It's like next time you do some shit like that, you never see the food again. Then he brought the food back. Like, was he obedient because that was his natural state of being? Because the story goes that when Eve ate the apple, he was like, yo, we were told not to eat this, man. Homegirl, you ain't even had no food taken from you for 3 to 5 days straight. Homeboy can do that. So yeah, it just seems unfair, totally unfair. It's like I want to conduct a virtual experiment, like an AI VR experiment, right? You create a game world where this character is coded to be sentient. You do the whole God, Adam and Eve scenario, and create multiple scenarios. How would the Garden of Eden look if God made Adam and Eve at the same time? And then how would the Garden of Eden look, or how would humanity look like now today if there was no tree not to eat from? Like, what would civilization look like? Surprised they haven't even done that yet as a hypothesis, but in terms of not yeah hypothesis, but do it through AI. Well, now AI is here. I guess they could do that, right? You just create all these different scenarios through AI and just watch the outcome. How would civilization look like? Would there be wars, famine, raping and pillaging, slavery? How would that look like? Genuinely curious, man. There's got to be a few people out there who like to create different AI simulations and whatnot. Since everybody keeps saying we're living a simulation, I would like to see that simulation. What does that look like in a simulation where God made Adam and Eve at the same time on day one, didn't put no forbidden fruit tree. Same scenario, Adam and Eve at day one, forbidden fruit tree. Same scenario, Adam and Eve on day one, and then no tree, but Satan is present and can shapeshift. I mean, he already could, right? He turned from his form into a snake. So yeah. But it's funny how he didn't shapeshift into Adam, the original story. Why wouldn't he have done that? That would have been an easy thing. Or when he was cast out into earth, right, or into hell, he was just a serpent. So when did he have the power to shapeshift then? When did he become the red skinned, how is projected into the minds through propaganda? How did he become the red skinned creature with two horns, a tail, and a pitchfork? When did that happen? Is that how he looks, or one of his forms, or that's just propaganda, right? To push the Bible narrative a lot harder. Genuinely curious, man. Let a brother know. How did they pull that one off? Yeah, why didn't he? He could have easily gotten away with that, because then Adam would have been like, it wasn't me. He'd have got. Oh, he didn't. No, 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 no. Because if he had shapeshifted into Adam, he'd have called Eve to have the apple. Then we would have seen what Eve would have done. She could probably be like, no, but I thought you said not to eat the apple. Well, God said not to. So Adam, you trying to play prank on me? Come on, honey. God said not to eat apple. Come sit down and have some avocados with me. Go sit here and have these mangoes with me. I think shapeshifting would have been an easier test, I think. But a talking snake and Eve ain't freak out. Maybe Eve didn't freak out because all the other animals spoke to them, unless it was telepathy, right? If it was telepathy, then cool. But she was told specifically. Now, if here's the best, I think the kicker, the best one would have been if Satan mimicked God's voice. Oh, that'd have been easy. Easy. I'm surprised Adam wasn't like, yo, hold on a second, God. You can't just kick us out. Well, no. Hold on. Whoa. You let homeboy in here? We were here with the rats and the cats and the dogs and the sheep and all kinds of creatures. Were there other snakes in there as well? Or was like Satan the father of snakes, that there were no snakes in the garden? So you let us chill with all these creatures, lions and tigers and zebras and elephants and giraffes, alligators, hippopotamus, and everything else. But you let this dude through the back door. You mean Homeboy was in here all this time? He ain't never shown his face till Eve came along. It's too much. Just the part. Like, it's not even coincidence. It's like the things just line up together. It's like, hey, hold on a second. Hold on. Did he ever try to tempt me, God? You play? Wait. Why would you even let him in here? This is our space, man. It's home. It's home base. This is home. You've never let no intruder in here. There's nothing else. These animals ain't fought me. Look at these lion claws. They swiped me one time. It's game over. So I guess then he was immortal. He probably fought with lions because it's Adam. It's the first dude. No blood, no pain, no suffering. Nah, they all. I think didn't they go? Didn't that whole thing came through after eating the apple? So it was like perfect. It was gravy. It's almost like God got bored. Like shit, I need to spice things up a little bit with these dudes, man. Or with this dude. Then he thought, okay, I need to spice it up a little bit with this dude. Let me make Eve. I see you lonely, so let me spice things up. That's too much of a play, man. I would like to know the time scale. When Eve was made, how many years was it before they ate from the apple? Because you couldn't have made Eve on Friday. She ate the apple on Saturday. That's just cold. It's cold. Because Adam had time. This is why when people talk about that part of the story, it's like, a few things ain't right there, man. You know? But hey, like I said, I'm an ex-Christian, ex-Muslim, so maybe it's just it's vitriol coming out. Maybe because I wasn't taught Christianity properly. That's why I have this feeling towards it. There's always a reason. You can't just look at it as is. No, maybe your parents didn't teach it to you properly. You can say that. You can say that. But I remember clearly when talking to this dude directly, there were no straight up answers, man. I remember I used to tell my mom so many times, she'd be like, "Oh no, because we've lost that connection." I'm like, no, I don't think we have, because we still breathe air. We still breathe air. So God is everywhere. You can't lose connection. Just something's off. It's like when you teach a child to suppress how they see divine. When they get to their adult years, it'll take probably the same amount of time or double that amount of time it took to suppress or lock that off to then open that. If you're not bombarded by people saying this is a simulation and whatnot. Eve didn't have it good, man. She came in on Tuesday, ate the apple on Wednesday. They got kicked out on Thursday. That ain't right. Did Adam and Eve even have time to have sex? Like I said, this is intrusive, man. Satan was in here all this time, and he ain't tempt Adam with nothing. As soon as God said, "Don't eat the apple," that's when Satan was like, "Oh," like that meme with the ladies when it's summertime and ladies got the sun, the brothers like this behind the tree. That's what Satan was doing. Ooh. Mm-hmm. That head. I play too much. And what, really, dude? You was just straight chilling. Where was he at? Just in hell. It's just hot in here, man. Shit, bored as hell. Bored as hell. So how did he know Adam was around town? Was God just boasting like in heaven, and Satan just had like, little spies in heaven? You need to explain this whole thing to a brother sometimes. All this stuff don't make no sense. So you're saying he was just down in hell, like just chilling. Just bored as hell, man. There's nobody to cook up in here. It's just him and his minions, right? There's nobody to cook, nobody to eat. They probably never need to go hungry because they're immortal beings. They don't suffer no hunger. You know, like where's the stat sheets for how he and his minions operate? Then he heard Adam was made. When did he find that out? On day one. So he didn't need to tempt Adam. There's nothing to tempt him with. He can be like, "Oh, come eat this new fruit God sent me to tell you." But because the relationship was straight up like, "Yo, I don't know about that, Satan. Oh, pops, you just said to come eat some fruit that it's just new fruit." He'd be like, "Oh, no, my bad, Adam. This is Satan, Adam, Satan. But Satan, you already knew this is Adam." Yo, I can't even. Then when you bring it up to a few Christians, "Oh, what version of the Bible are you reading?" No. It's not what version. Clarity, truth, not your opinions. If you don't know, say you don't know. That's the best thing you can give someone who's asking questions. I don't know. Don't direct me to no version of no book. If you put a glass of water in front of me, there's no Bible I can read, no Quran I can read, no Torah I can read, and to observe this is a glass of water. The only difference is if someone says in their language, water is ruwa, agua, ura, erra. It makes, you can call it whatever you call it. It's still a glass of water. If I don't believe it, I take it, pour it to myself, or I even taste it, smell it. Okay, confirm it's water. Then woosa, it's on me. We gravy, or maybe get another glass and take it from the source where you got the water from and compare. It's the same density, liquid. There's no coloration. It's water. Whereas when it comes to the Bible or the story in the Bible, you got to read this version. You got to ask this elder. You got to seek advice. No, Don't cloud the thing, man. Do you know? I don't know. Good shit. Saying you don't know is the best thing when you truly don't know. Not what I think what God is. No, I ain't got time to be thinking what I'm trying to think what God. You know how erroneous that sounds? In my opinion, no, sir. I think. Nah, you can't think God. And be honest to just say something is off. A lot of missing pieces. Then that reflects that, okay, who wrote the books? Who was in charge of keeping the books? And then why were things taken out of the books? Because it sounds like foul play. Hence, having a one-to-one conversation with this being. So that way when Jim is lying, John is lying, Peter is lying, Keisha is lying, Mary ain't shit, we're gravy. Because we got a one-to-one with you. Especially those of us, you can say, oh, because you're the long line of, nah, whatever. Yo, long line or not. Do you want us to get back your graces? Yes, then start talking to your people directly. So even when the lights come, we're like, word, look at this fool God. Come look at this fool Jesus. Because it's a one-on-one. I don't need to convince you as my brother or sister because I know you're having a one-to-one. You have a clear line of communication. It becomes so much easier. But you got people talking about it's a test. Huh? It's a test. It wasn't no test when them apples came juicy as a motherfucker. That was no test. That sound like setup to me. That sound like setup. Satan had no reason to come bother Adam all this time. Sin as Eve. If somebody told me that the game was on Eve all this time, not Adam, that makes more sense. As soon as she showed up, fine piece of booty and beautiful chest showed up, and then Satan was like, "Yo, you rose to the challenge. You rose, yeah, man. You playing too much games." Where was Satan at all? Was he tempting Adam day one, day two? Come sit here with me. Let me give you what God didn't give you. Now we good. We got all the fruits and vegetables. We got all the grapes and wines. All I need. Not even we, just me. Well, we in terms of he and the animals. Just straight chilling. I don't need none. I don't want none. What can you convince me to have that I ain't got here? Well, I got some stuff you would like to see. Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because the weather here is perfect. Even when it rains, it's perfect. When it snows, it's perfect. Well, it's the Garden of Eden, so I don't. Then again, see all these little details would be nice to know. This is heaven on earth. It's perfect. God already told me about heaven. God told me about you. You fell from the graces, so you want me to come chill with you? Nah. God already gave me the peep talk, the pep talk. I know you and your peeps. Sound like too much setup. As soon as Eve showed up on the doorstep, she didn't even had the same time period Adam had. He was made whole, totally. Eve was made from setup day one. She came from his rib. I guess that's how awesome Adam was, right? So awesome. I can make your counterpart from your rib. That's how powerful you are, Adam. That's how powerful I made you, my son. That I can make a whole being from your rib cage. That's amazing. Hold on, my bad, peeps. Give me a second. I see messages coming through. Mm-mm. Instagram these days is just so shady, man. What is the point? What is the point? Yeah, mission and a half. This thing won't let me work it no more. Instagram is dying, man. It's a shame. It used to be an awesome app. Now it's just headache for people. Bugs here and there. This ain't working. That ain't working. You got to quit the app, come back in. Some bullshit. Somebody need to let me know these points. These are key points I'm very interested in. What was it like for Eve on day one? Because she hadn't had the same time Adam have. I keep saying have. Adam had time. He had ample time, all the time in the world to master his environment, to master everything that's going on, to know what he's here for, his purpose. Did he even have a purpose? We're just here chilling. He didn't even need to stress. He didn't need to have a purpose. He was just here of his own accord, just being the Son of God, or the first Son of God, the firstborn of God, right? Just chilling straight, just perfection, like I said. And that's when Satan couldn't touch him. If we're going by that narrative, even though that's not what the story says, he didn't show up until then, until Eve was made. Eve came. Instead of everybody to say Satan had a crush on Eve, everybody said, yeah, he just came to tempt. Nah, 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 nah. You had a crush on the homegirl, man. She must have come out looking fine. Looking fire. Like, golly, that's what Adam gonna be chilling with? I can't have that. He must have come with that jealousy. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Jealousy leads you to the dark side. He was like, yeah, you seen Eve? Look at that hair. Look at them hips. Mm-mm. I'm finna mess the whole shit up for you, Adam. I'm gonna pop a cherry. I'm gonna be the one to break her. Like, go on ahead, taste these fruits, man. She wouldn't have known. She wouldn't have known at all. Where was Adam in the first place, too, for her to just jump on the fruit? If you had been like, hey, girl, Eve, where you at? I'm just out in the garden, just looking at this tree. What tree? The tree we told not to eat from? Yeah, bitch. Man, I never had no trouble with God. As soon as you come along, see, both sides, it's just not nice. You just put her in a clutch situation. She'd have at least eaten from all the other trees. And again, her curiosity must have been on high level because at least Adam would have had time to master curiosity. I'm still thinking to myself, that means there were no apples in the Garden of Eden. So hence, when the apple tree was made, don't eat from this tree. And then hunger ate it. Oh, pardon me. Damn. I also wonder if Adam also questioned God. And where did God go? I mean, he's always around. And how did Satan even have eyes on the garden? Well, who gave him? Who sent out the invitations, man? That's what I would like to know. Who sent out those invitations? How did you know the garden was there? Did you know from day one that the garden was made for Adam and he couldn't get in? I wish that shit was on lockdown, man. Because you made it specifically for Adam, right? And I imagine because it's God, you already had the intention in the future to make it or to expand the garden for all the human beings to come into the future. That's another thing. So was he going to make more human beings the same way? Meaning that he didn't intend for Adam and Eve to have sex. Was he just going to create more men the same way he made Adam and then yank from them their ribs to make their women? That will make a very interesting. Somebody need to do me the simulations, man. Give me these AI simulations. Let me see how this civilization would. What if God made Adam and Eve day one? What if God, or how did God intend? I want to see these. I want to see them visually. What would they look like? Like thousands of years into the future, 2025. But I want to see what that looks like because that is fascinating to me. Definitely fascinating. As I definitely want to know. Yeah, yeah. Just out of curiosity. It's like I'm trying to get back into the good graces of Islam or Christianity. I'm not we're gravy. It wasn't built for me. That's for sure. That is for sure. But it would be nice to know. You know, be nice to know. Is my battery still hanging in there? It's not dying. Can I even check? Is it close enough for me to check? It's still hanging in there. Need to cut it off soon though. It's been a good stream. I do around two when I record. I let the stream settle, record a video, and watch the stream back. I still remember the points I was talking on, and we'll proceed through because this is a part of a larger conversation I want to keep having and find my people because this world is looking mighty strange. More and more I look at it, and I don't see the quit game button. Yeah, I keep saying it's a simulation. Give me that. Where's the controller at so I can just go back to hit the PS button and then reset, or like Returnal, suspend session, suspend simulation, or activate Neo mode, or activate Morpheus mode. Shoot, frigate, activate a Holy Trinity mode. Just wake me up, man. It's too much. I got all these questions. Nobody to answer them. Yeah, that's some shady stuff going on with Satan and God, man. Or God must have told. It's probably when God made Adam and the Garden of Eden. That's when he told Lucifer. Lucifer lost his shit or whatever really happened. That's one thing I don't fully know actually. What really happened between Lucifer and God in heaven, and then left heaven, and then half the angels followed. Then I was like, yo, you guys allowed to do that? If it's one dude, I can get it, but all of you didn't agree. I was like, hey, that's perplexing. And then God was like, oh, we're not gonna can't make the same beings like I did with these angels. Nah, them boys are smart. So he made a dumb version. He said, let me pull the intelligence down a bit and the free will and then the powers. He said, no. Nah. What I gave Lucifer and them boys, nah, they're gonna fuck shit up. So let me just, you know. Hence, that's why Adam was just docile, like, yo, this is what it is. Cool. No questions. He didn't ask questions. Whereas Eve just came like, what's this nice tree? This girl, they just told us not to eat from this thing, man. How you gonna drop this homegirl up in here first of all? Not even give her the same time you gave me to master these things, man. You should have put her in a bubble. I mean, that's even questionable because if you took her from my rib, surely she should have had like, you know, a lifetime of information that I have in her. So why the disobedience to eat the apple? Because I had the obedience not to eat the apple. So did she come out fresh, like she's stupid fresh? Or she came out fresh from his rib, but she already had the knowledge that he had already experienced? That's like that new game plus one I was talking about. She just came fresh, but with inbuilt knowledge from his rib. So all the things he mastered, all the pain. I keep saying pain. Keep forgetting that he's in the Garden of Eden. There's no pain. So all he's experienced is joy and laughter. He might have tripped up a little bit and experienced some pain. My bad. I shouldn't have said that. He might have fallen down a little bit, hit his little toe somewhere, his pinky toe somewhere. What else? Did he need to cut apples? No, he didn't need to cut there was no apples. He didn't need to cut no fruit open. Just ate the fruit as is, or he just spoke to the fruit. Unravel yourself, Spoke to a banana, peel thyself, and just ate the banana. So the only pain he would experience is if he bumped his head somewhere, stood up too fast, hit his pinky. Yeah. A little toe somewhere. Yeah. No major pain. No pain where he's cut himself. Maybe he nicked himself against a tree branch or something. But he'd have had all the experiences he'd have gone through. That surely would have passed on to Eve. So she'd have had all that information in her, knowing not to disobey God. She'd have had that knowledge inbuilt in her. So then how did she still manage to listen to Satan? You're the only odd one out. You weren't here before. You're new. How did you even get in here in the first place? She should have been like, first of all, hold on, wait a minute. Who are you? You know, like, oh, hey, yo, Adam, come check out this cocksucker. He just, what your name is again? Huh? Satan? He said his name is Satan. You know what it's for? Adam be like, nah, I ain't seen this dude before. Word? Give me a second. Yo, God. How you call God? You just call God Father? Father. God be like, yo, what's good, my people? You cheated with Eve? Say, never mind that. Who the fuck is it? Who the fuck is this? I see all the lions and zebras and giraffes and everything. Who the fuck is this dude? How you talk? Because maybe all the other animals spoke too, so it was standard. But how you look different? Why are you here when the animals is over there? So hold on, this feels suspicious as fuck. Eve would have been like, Adam, you playing pranks? This you God and Adam, you playing pranks? Yeah, I can be playing pranks. You know, I just came out the rib two days ago. Come on now, cut a sister some slack. I'm fresh off the boat now. I mean, I got all the inbuilt memories from Adam's rib, but let me catch up. You know, let me have my own unique experiences too. Adam had his unique experiences. Let me have my unique experience. Then we can both have a collective experience together. So this pranking thing is not working for me. What your name is again? Satan. You said your name was Lucifer earlier on. You said you go by 2-3 names. 2 names? Satan and Lucifer? No, okay, cool. We don't like that. We were told not to eat from this tree, and you busting Joe. You think this is funny? I'm not even hungry. Trying to get a sister to eat something not supposed to eat. No, we don't like that. We do not like that at all. You better get your ass out of here. Can you close? Is there a gate to this place? There's a gate. How you slither in here? Okay, whatever it is, there's a gate. What I need you to do, Adam, okay, you know what? Just come outside because we don't want you here in the plants. Just leave. God, can you get rid of this thing, snake? You know? And can you put a wall around this tree? I want to look at it no more. Dude, I cracked myself up, man. It would have made life so much easier. She'd have been like, wait a minute. Who are you? Girl, I say, huh, I'll pop a bullet in your brain right now. Or maybe, I don't know, a slingshot or a spear or a dack or something. Or a rock, like, hey. I'll bust your head wide open. Where did you come from? How you gonna sneak up on me like that? These rabbits are sneaky, but you slid in here. And you talk? You can speak English? Say, yo, Adam, come look at this fool. How come you speak the same way we speak? How come you look like that? Why you sound like us, but you don't look like us? I ain't right. That's another thing. The other animals talk. If you had told me the other animals talk, I'd be like, okay, cool. I can see why she fell for it, but nah, you just got here, and there's somebody in here that you've never seen before. Yo, my antenna would have been on fire. Who are you? How the fuck you get in here in the first place? Talk about eat from the forbidden fruit. No, we are gravy. I'd be like, Daddy, Daddy, Papa, oh Father, wherefore art thou? You know? Apparently, there's a creature in here that calls himself Satan. It wants us to eat from the forbidden fruit, Father. Is this one of your many pranks, O Father, Almighty Jehovah? Do confirm, Father. Is this one of your many tricks, Father? Are you playing games again with us, Father? Oh, do stop it, Father. Do stop it. You know I don't like it when you play games with us. Oh, Jehovah. Almighty Elohim, stop it. I take it the apple tree is another joke of yours. Oh, it's real. You truly don't want us eating from this fruit. Well, we've got a plethora of fruit. We've got the mangoes, the papaya, the papaw. We've got the mbuyu trees. We've got the guavas. We've got the cashews, the oranges, the clementines. We've got the bananas. We've got so much fruit to enjoy. We did not need this apple tree you've created. It would be good if you could cover it up. It is an eyesore after all. I don't know why I haven't done this as a series in such a in at all. It's in a long time. I should have done this as a series. I could do like a podcast thing. I should have done this. I might do a little what if Adam and Eve thing. I might, because I'm enjoying this right now so much. It's like little mini therapy for me. This is freaking awesome. This is awesome. Homegirl didn't have a chance from the get go. It's not nice. And that's how the whole world just woke up one morning and thought, yeah, women just bitches. Damn it, y'all don't even peep the game. You can't even see it's off. The only two people or two aspects, the duo, man and woman, there's nothing. It's just both of us. And you just gravy. We're just pointing fingers. Just, yeah, you all women are just trash. Huh? That don't make no sense. How are you supposed to progress as a species? How are we supposed to even get back into the good graces of God as a species? If you're going to sit there and say, yeah, oh, if it wasn't for Eve, and even that is confusing because based on the book, Homegirl was Caucasian. You trying to tell me everybody else came from this? Come on. And then they'd be like, no, no, she didn't come from, no, brown people didn't come from Eve. They came from the cursed ham. I can't remember what it's called. It's just so much gunk. So much gunk. When I get, I think it's cursed something ham. When I get it right, I'm going to do a separate video for that one. The Adam and Eve, what if I want to do? I feel like I'm gonna smash that nicely. I definitely want to do that one. But the cursed ham one, oh, that's a special. That's gonna get special treatment. It's gonna get special treatment. Dude. Then somebody telling you that you look like this because your people was cursed. Somebody was cursed and they turned to look like you. So you mean my right now, this is a curse? You say, yeah. Yeah, that's why you look like that. Oh shit. Word. You mean all this is it's a yeah. Look at that nostril. You don't see, look at them lips. What's that? What's this? It's just big. Your nose is just big. And your hair, look at your hair. What would you 9 eat the hair? That's a mistake. It's a flaw. You weren't supposed to look like that. Your nose is just too wide, man. The nostrils just flare like a little horse. That's just bad. You ugly. You're supposed to look better than this. This is a mistake. You a curse right now. Wow. And that's not going to do a number in your psychology, on your psyche. You got the ladies thinking, oh shit, we're all sinners anyway, so fuck it. Anyway, it's gonna sound like he's having a jab at Christianity. He's an atheist. Yeah, y'all can speculate all you want to speculate. You will never know. But I'm observing life, man, a lot much better than I used to. And this has been from childhood too, so don't nobody get it twisted. Or you want to add a little spice and say it's trauma. This is trauma talking. You can smell it. He was traumatized as a child, and he wasn't taught religion properly. Or not only that, but wasn't taught Christianity from the proper books, from the proper channels. He probably wasn't baptized. Yes, that's why he's getting all this out of his system. That's why he's behaving this way. There's so much information out there that it becomes convoluted, like it's clashing, you know? And all we want to do is just live. Or maybe not even get it twisted and say, oh, let me speak for myself. You just want to be. Before I went live, after the 30 minutes or before the 30 minutes trial and error, I hope this thing is recorded fine because if there's bugs and if there's a bugginess in the microphone, that would just really piss me off. But like I said, I can always record it again. Instead of going live, I re-record it and upload it as a live. It's like I said, it's something I'm passionate about, so I ain't gonna lose those deep over that. In the video, the guy was talking about there were two people talking. One asked the other, how does one know or how does one find their purpose or something? And I'm paraphrasing. The guy who was asked replied saying, purpose isn't something you look for, it's something you are. Pardon me. And I was like, yeah, but still knowing exactly what it is sweet, you know? When someone who's into wine tasting is given a glass of wine to taste and they're going, it's a hint of cinnamon, it's a hint of you you have an idea of what you're tasting. You can sense it. So having an idea of what you're here for is beautiful. Not just this whole, because if you know without asking, that's different. Or if you get to know after you've asked, that is a reassuring thing that all you need to do is ask and you'll be shown. Let's not even forget people who are happy doing what they're happy doing. And then they might get a nudge from someone else or somewhere else or something higher than them that this thing you're happy doing is not even your calling. Your calling is so and so. How do you even help someone with that? Hold on, what is this? How do you what? How do you help people with that? How do you help someone with that feeling in their mind? You're genuinely satisfied with what you're doing. And then you're told that what you're doing is not your calling or your purpose. And that's the confusion that's on this planet, out of many other things that confuse people. And in the same video, he was saying the calling is not necessarily a thing, a one singular thing. It's more of a being and the other things connected to it. And I was like, that feels more, that makes more sense because it connects to you as you are. Let me use myself as an example again. I'm someone who learns visually. So therefore, one could argue doesn't make sense that my calling would be to learn a different way of learning, when those other ways haven't worked. So the learning visual and storytelling, you hear to tell stories, in a visual manner. Oh, no wonder I learn visually and I love telling stories. And then you can build scenarios with your words for people to see, and then you could direct the movie and all these things you could put together. Makes sense. It's all coming together, right? You're it's like you're on your path, even when you don't think you're on your path. Then you just take time to look at it from outside and go, oh, it's all piecing together. So even when I haven't prayed, I haven't knelt down in the name of Jesus, I haven't done none of that, I'm still on the path. And we could argue that life is like that. There's a lot of people who live like that, and that's how you're supposed to find your purpose. No, because there are people who self-terminate, who say, this is too much, I've had enough, we outie. So then how about them? They must have reached a point where they're like, nah, it's not clicking for them. Whereas if it was a default 0 point for everyone, look at this fruit fly bitch. Whatever they're going through, they still get those feelings. They don't have to pray, meditate. What I'm trying to get at is this having to do something all the time. Remember, like I said, when I started this live, I mentioned you don't have to pray. So one thing we don't pray for is air. Or maybe we pray to God to breathe when we come out of our mother's womb. Or when we are from the sperm to the egg, and the egg splits and the cell splits and yada yada yada. Now we're in the womb. Maybe then we start to pray for air. That's one thing I do not remember being taught by my parents. Pray for air. You just breathe. It's just something you do naturally. And after learning that in this current cycle, my current age, I was like, shit. No wonder I've been feeling a particular way. I was taught how to interact with God incorrectly against my natural being. I have conversations internally and externally. Where people say you talk to yourself. I do both. And sometimes one of them is darker than the other. Then your inner monologue is important because that is also a reflection of your upbringing, what you've been called as a child. I've been called many bad words as a child that no child, no being, not let alone a child, should ever be called. No infant being should ever be called any derogatory or negative name or word or words. No child come in here under the guise of innocence. with a cosmic expectation of those who have pulled you into this reality to know what the fuck they're doing. And when they don't know what they're doing, then we got to find our own ways to know what we're doing. And then when the ones who pulled you in here don't know what they're here to do, shit. Now you got to go on your own journey. You got to learn this and learn that. You got to bump into people telling you, oh, it's all a simulation, it's an illusion. So much. Whereas if you were taught precisely why you were pulled in here, precisely. And if there were aspects of those reasons where it's like, oh, you will get to learn them along the way. And even when you feel like you're confused, you will know exactly. So much so that even if someone was to try and trick you or dissuade you, you would get a clear, without doubt, a clear sign or infinite signs to let you know, hey, you're being moved off your thing. And that thing or those things or those people are trying to play you. Not this whole, let's see him figure it out for himself. No, you be told, oh, that on Monday, you were on path, man. Tuesday, for sure. Wednesday, that person you bumped into or that thought you had, that wasn't your thought. That wasn't, intrusive thoughts. Oh, we got those two? Shit. Temptation, misleading. Now we got intrusive thoughts. God damn. Pen and paper and write all these little terms down and shit. So we got to fix the subconscious, heal the trauma, ancestral baggage, past life, break generational curses. It's a list of things to do. So the easiest thing would be at least to know. All these things I've been partaking in is building me up to become this thing. Not to feel like, I wasted my time doing this thing. Wish I'd done that instead. It's not nice. Especially when you have people who pray to God, don't get the direct answer. They have multiple voices in their head. They have their mother's voice, their father's voice, their sibling's voice, their voice. And sometimes their voice is positive and kind. Sometimes it's very negative and dark and bleak. Then you have voices of actors and actresses, or characters that actors and actresses have played, or actors and actresses who have done great quotes. You have your Alan Watts, your Nikola Tesla, all these little terms, your Bruce Lees, your Muhammad Ali's, your Malcolm X's, your Luther Kings. Shoot, even Gandhi. Some quotes you're like, yo, that's a dope ass quote. We like that. We're gonna save that in the memory banks, So all these external things assist, yes, but sometimes, if not most of the time, it's the sweetest thing to know you have that direct connection with your inner higher self and the Most High. So that way you can say these quotes are lovely, beautiful quotes, beautiful, lovely quotes. But let me have that one-to-one with this God being. Not this whole you can't talk to me like that, bitch. You ain't even pray to Jesus to get to me. Kiss my becomes hubris. You at least just say, hey, can I just talk to you? You got it. You got it. I'm here. I've been here. Just glad you hollered at me. Can we make this a permanent thing? Yeah, you got it. You got it. What you want? Well, first is just health. What am I supposed to eat? Not supposed to eat. So let me just give you a list. Pen and paper. Yeah, you can write it down. Or I just put it in your brain. You could have done that all this time. Or is it here? I can just unlock it. Oh, it's in your DNA. No, I don't want to have to go else. Just talk to me now. Let me know now, so I can move this shit along, man. 'Cause sometimes I just feel like just being here for too long. Can you cut it off? Because you wouldn't even let people just be like, we outie. Because you got that on the list of sins. You come home of your own volition. That's a sin right there. You can't even do no. I can't do no outie. All right, let me know what I'm supposed to eat, not supposed to eat. And let me know who to avoid. The people be like, oh, it's too easy. Everything's a test for y'all. Test. Shit. Breathing is no test. Breathing is it just is. That's why I'm using breathing as the greatest example. I've never had to pray, God, please give me air. What? How do I talk to God without air? If I'm not breathing, how am I kneeling down? How am I in the name of the Father? How? You tell me how you talk without air. Don't even talk about here. Your body is dead without your air. You're finished. We don't pray for air. It just is. So something has gone wrong somewhere in so many ways that we're having to ask. You're asking for abundance that is plenty around you. Food, water, air, everything is just plenty around you. That means somebody is fucking with shit not supposed to be fucking with. It'd be cool to know if you can kill this Satan dude, just like the movies or games. So he's like, let's rally up and go find this dude and shut him off one time because he be causing too much bullshit around the whole place, man. Came around and fucked with Eve. As soon as he heard Eve, he said, "There's a woman in town." There's a woman? He made a female? Yeah, she don't look like Adam. So what she look like? She got these things from her chest because Adam is flat, right? But hers just come out. And you know, Adam's whatever. There's something in between these things, this chest, and hers is long. Adam is very small, but hers is thick. I don't know what they call it, but they look better than Adam. The Satan was like, oh, we gotta go check her out. Then he came up from where we came out from. What's good, Eve? Hey, baby girl, what's popping? Godly. I'm definitely gonna be doing this What If Adam and Eve series for real. I'm liking this shit. Maybe I'm it's like I'm drawing so many timelines together. Maybe there was like 1,000 years before Satan entered the picture, but still, he didn't come for Adam when he was on his lonesome. Or did he? Did Satan tempt Adam on his lonesome? That'd be good to know. Yeah, I have a few Christian peeps I could ask the question. They can let me know because I'm real curious, man. I am real curious. They probably be like, "This is why we don't even give you no time because you are mocking Christianity. You don't mock Christianity. It's blasphemy, man. You're mocking God and you're laughing. You're talking about Satan and you're laughing. You think this is funny? Hmm? You think this is funny? It's 2 a.m. and I'm talking this loud. I think I need to go to sleep. Time for me to go sleep. Oh, Vimeo. I need to join Vimeo. Everybody's on Vimeo these days. People like YouTube is slacking. So people want to jump on Vimeo. Let me see what Vimeo is saying. It might be good for me. Wouldn't hurt to expand my reach. But that's me done, man, peeps. Satan was straight chilling. Didn't do nothing to Adam. He said, homeboy is on his own over there, man. Shit, I ain't got time for this shit. He was just chilling with his minions. Were there any female angels as well? Like, it makes sense if all the angels in Satan's domain were all male, right? Then as soon as he heard some one minion must have come to him like Mouse came to the squad in the Matrix when Neo was fighting Morpheus. When he came in and said, "Shit, Neo's fighting Morpheus," everyone's like, "God damn, we gotta go see this shit." He wants to be like, "Yo, God just made another human being, but it's a female. Oh shit, let's go." And then Satan just like, "Fuck all y'all. Shit, let me get in there." Okay, cool. But he made a tree. Oh, he don't want to eat from this tree. Oh, now we got something to hold of these motherfuckers. We got some leverage now. Next day, hey girl, hey Eve, what's popping, girl? What you got going on? What you got going on, huh? Nah, nothing, man. I'm chilling. Well, you look mighty fine, girl. She look better than Adam. I mean, he good looking, but you are gorgeous. Look at you, girl. Looking mighty fine. Damn. How tall is you? You taller than Adam. Shit, you 6'2", looking good. Adam at least 5'6", 5'7". Yeah, I guess you looking fine. Come over here, sit down, and talk to you, huh? Now I'm one of God's assistants. What you mean you ain't see me, girl? You just came here. Of course you ain't seen me. I've been around. Ask Adam. Ask him later. But let me come sit here and talk to you, girl. Shit. So what they say about that tree? You can't touch a tree. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? What kind of father hiding things from you like that, huh? That ain't right. You ain't asking why you hadn't it? Anyway, don't worry about it. If I was you, I mean, I'm not you because you looking fine, right? I wish I was you because look at that body. Oh, look at you looking good. Shit, head to toe. Turn around. Don't. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you're naive and innocent things. And you to turn around. Well, I'd love to have you to myself. Adam asked you. Adam done anything with you to you for you? Like, does he touch you? Do you embrace? You hold hands. That's nice. Y'all kiss. Huh? You don't know what kissing is? Don't worry about it. You figure it out soon enough. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn. Huh? What you mean? I keep licking my lips. It's dry in here. You don't feel it's hot in here? You don't feel it's dry? Oh, you got perfect skin, so you lucky. You don't feel like you need to lick your lips. Okay, cool. Maybe you use coconut oil, shea butter. You probably use shea butter. Don't worry. I just wanted to talk to you about this tree. God just told you not to touch a tree, and you don't find that suspicious. You never asked him why. Are there any other trees in the garden? Huh? No. Oh, interesting. So he just plopped this tree right here as soon as he made you, or did he make this tree before you were made? Because I mean, I'm new because God don't tell me nothing too. He just does, whatever. He just made you without it. Did he ask you permission? Where do you think you came from? Because he didn't make you like. Did he make you like Adam? He didn't make you like Adam. What you mean? The rib. Oh, oh, huh? No, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious. He made you from Adam's rib. Well, he told me he made Adam straight raw from the clay, from the breath of air, whatever he said. He just like there was no rib to make Adam from. Adam was it's like, first man. And so I just thought it would be wise, it would be cool if he made, the first woman the same way he made Adam, Now my brother's calling me. That's the sign for me to go. No, I'm just saying. I just thought he would have made you from the rib. I mean, my bad, girl. I'm repeating myself. I just thought he'd have made you the same way he made Adam. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that would have been cool. Yeah, you should talk to him. Ask him why he made you from Adam's rib like that. You know, I mean, you got all the gifts and abilities from Adam. I mean, if I was making you as good as you, oh, look at you. You 10/10. You 10 out of 10, girl. I would just have, I mean, I would have made I'm an assistant, so I can just say I can't talk out of term. I get told to do what I told to do. I do what I told to do. So, but I'd have made you the same way I made Adam. But don't tell Adam, huh? No, he wouldn't like it. No, he not go, we go way back, we used to build sand castles and shit before. So, you know, yeah, yeah. And then we'll talk some more soon. It's good to meet you. Yeah, good to meet you. Huh? My name. You know, just call me assistant. I'm outy peeps. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna do more of these. I'm really loving these. I'm really loving these. Anyway, I have been your one and only host, the Cosmic Jedi, signing out. Thank you for watching. After all this waffling, this thing had better have captured my audio without no bullshit. I swear to raw. Without no bullshit. Because that would not be funny.